worshiping or singing. But there was this school I worked for some time ago. While I was there on a particular day, I went out during break time to get something, because there you could go out during break, just whatever you want to do within that break time and come back before the break is over. So that day I left my assistant in class. My assistant was in the class, so I left to get something during break. On my way out, there was a song that came to me. I started singing that song, but I didn't know at that time I was singing, a child in the class was conversing. But through that song, that God was able to fight that battle, and that child was stabilized. The child, was okay, came back and became okay again. It was when I came back, they narrated the story to me, and I knew it was at that particular time I was singing on the road while I was going to get what I wanted to get, that thing happened, and God had already settled it. And then the prophet said something. She said, if you were in the class at that time, that wouldn't have happened. But even if I wasn't there, God was there, and He sorted out, through, He gave me, through His Spirit, He put that song in my mouth, and I started singing, and He sorted out what He needed to sort out, and there was no bad news of, hey, a child died in her class, or this and that happened, and it was in her class. But I want to thank God that through song, He delivered that particular child. And another thing happened while I was still in the secondary school. I was also a Christian, and I had given my life to Christ at that time. So there was this night, then I was living with my sister too. So there was this night, my nephew, a baby as at that time, was just crying uncontrollably. It was a cry that woke me up that night. When I woke up, they told me the mother has tried to pacify him, wasn't able to be pacified. The father has tried, everyone has carried him, he was still crying uncontrollably. So immediately I carried him, there was a song that came to me, to my mind. I started singing that song. Immediately I started singing that song, he became calm, he stopped crying. And immediately there was this noise that came from upstairs. Our neighbor that was living upstairs. So it's like she ran out of the compound that same night. She ran out of the compound, and in the morning she came, packed all her things, left the son and the husband, and ran out of that particular building. Meanwhile, the person that was occupying that particular flat we were in, which was a former church member, lost her own child too in that same building. Lost her child. And another account I want to recount is there was a time I traveled with my sister. We went to our hometown to do some prayers though. So on our way back to Lagos, something happened. In that vehicle, I was just, a song came to me. Songs were just coming to me, I was just singing. I didn't know God was fighting battles for me. So there was this particular song that came to my mind, and I was singing it. Agame surundi muzi nenye gekele. Agame surundi muzi na jahima. Osimiri neruari nuti tugina. I started singing that particular song after I've sang other ones. Then there was this trailer that was in front, like just 3 vehicles away from us. Before you know it, I don't know, he swapped. The hand swapped to the other side, crossing, as in he was across the road. That if God did not intervene, the the two vehicles in front of us would have collided with that particular trailer that was carrying, things. But I don't know how God did it. He swapped, and the other one was able to pass the other side. In fact, it was just a miracle. And immediately, there was a man in that vehicle that saw what happened. Everybody saw it. He said in Igbo language, which means the person that is singing that song, sing it louder, sing it more. So I just kept on singing because I knew God was actually doing something. So at different occasions, at different times, God has used song to do a lot in my life. Frank Edwards said something. He wrote on one of his pages on Facebook. He said, "Not everyone can sing to save their lives, but all can worship." So I'm imploring you, my dear brothers and sisters, let's worship God together. Come every Sunday, 5 a.m. This thing could be because of you, it could be because of your family, that God has laid this in my heart to do it every Sunday morning. Join me. And if you're a worship leader, let's ignite the fire together before you climb that altar on Sunday. Especially, if you're in Nigeria, we know services start in the morning every Sunday in Nigeria. So, but other countries too, I don't know your time. Your own timing is quite different. Some theirs at that time is middle of the night or in the afternoon. But join me. Let's ignite this fire together and go to your churches. Spread the fire. Spread the fire. Spread the fire. God is about to do something. It could be because of you. It could be because of someone in your lineage or your family. It could be because of something around you that He has laid this in my heart. This has been in my heart since, that lockdown period, the COVID-19. But I've been asking God, what if? I just don't want to do this on one platform. I just have to start because I wanted it to be on all platforms at the same time, so you can connect, with any platform you want to connect with at the same time. But I just have to start this on Facebook, and maybe with time I can expand it to other platforms. So I'm imploring you, connect with me on Sunday, 5 a.m. every Sunday. Nigerian time, 5 a.m. Other countries,
check my Facebook page.
For your own time. God bless you. I'm expecting you on Sunday. God bless you. Agame surundi muzine nyegi kele. Kamso para